இந்த ஹிப் ரீப்ளேஸ்மெண்ட், அதாவது இந்த இடுப்புக்கு நம்ம மாற்றுதல் சர்ஜரி வந்து ரொம்ப நாளாக இருக்குது. ஆனால் இப்போ என்ன புதுசாக வந்திருக்குன்னா டெக்னாலஜி அசிஸ்டன்ட், அதாவது ஹியூமன் எரர். நம்ம சர்ஜன் வந்து எதுவும் தப்பு பண்ணாமல் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து டெக்னாலஜி அசிஸ்டன்ட் டிஹெச்ஆர்னு வந்திருக்கு. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் டெக்னாலஜி இங்கே ஹாஸ்பிட்டல், சிம்ஸ் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆர்த்தோபெடியில் டெவலப் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அது பேர் டைகாஸ்ட். அது வந்து என்ன ஒரு பெரிய அட்வான்டேஜ் என்னென்னா, காஸ்ட் எதுவும் இல்லாமல் எல்லா ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம், எல்லா பேஷண்ட்டுக்கு போய் அது யூ கேன் ரீச் ஆல் பேஷண்ட்ஸ். அந்த மாதிரி டைகாஸ்ட் டெக்னாலஜின்னு பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இட் இஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் ஆப் இன் ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன். ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் ஆப் வந்து டெவலப் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அது வந்து ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன் எல்லாரும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். அது போக வேரியஸ் அதர் கான்செப்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் பிரின்சிபல்ஸ் டெவலப் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ இதை வச்சு என்ன விசேஷம்னா, நம்ம வந்து ஹிப் ரீப்ளேஸ்மெண்ட் பண்ணுறப்ப என்ன பர்ஃபெக்ட் ஆங்கிள் எல்லாமே நம்ம வந்து அதை வந்து அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ நம்ம இன்னைக்கு வந்து மைக்கேல் மெக்கனான்ற பேஷண்ட் வந்து 62 year old 62 வயசானவர் வந்து யூகேலேருந்து, யூகேல என்னன்னா ஃப்ரீயாகவே ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் கிடைக்கும், ஃப்ரீயாகவே சர்ஜரி கிடைக்கும். அதை விட்டுட்டு இங்கே ஆல் த வே சென்னைக்கு வந்து ஹிப் ரீப்ளேஸ் வந்திருக்காரு. ஏன் வந்திருக்காருன்னா, அவர் வந்து அவரோட வேலை வந்து பில்டர். ஸோ அவர் வந்து ஏணி ஏறணும், மேலே இதெல்லாம் ஏறணும், ரூஃப் மேலாம் ஏறணும். ஸோ அதனால் ஆப்ரேஷனுக்கு அப்புறம் அது பண்ண முடியுன்றதுக்காக இங்கே வந்திருக்காரு. இந்த ஹை பர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ஹிப் ரீப்ளேஸ்மெண்ட் சொன்னோம். ஸோ இந்த டெக்னாலஜி யூஸ் பண்ணி இந்த ஹிப் ரீப்ளேஸ்மெண்ட் பண்ணோம். இப்போ வந்து பண்ணி 10 நாள் ஆகுது. இப்போ வந்து அவர் யூகேக்கு போனதுக்கப்புறம் அவர் வந்து ஒரு 3-4 வீக்ஸ் கழித்து அவர் வந்து எல்லாம் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். அவர் ஜாபில் வந்து எல்லாமே பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். ஸோ இதுக்காக யூகேலேருந்து அந்த ஃப்ரீ ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டை விட்டு இங்கே வந்திருக்காரு. அதான் இன்றைக்கி இந்த ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி, வாட் வி கால் அஸ் டெக்னாலஜி அசிஸ்டட் டிஹெச்ஆர் யூசிங் ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோன் அப்ளிகேஷன் and various other concepts which are actually very low cost or no cost. So all hospitals can benefit, எல்லா பேஷண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் பெனிஃபிட் போய் சேரலாம். அதான் ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி. இந்த நம்ம ஆயுர்வேதா இருக்குங்க, எல்லாமே பாடியை வந்து ஃபுல்லாக பார்க்கணும். தி பாடி, மைண்ட் அண்ட் சோல் அதான் வந்து என்விரான்மெண்ட், அதுதான் இது பார்க்கணும், ஆயுர்வேதா பார்க்கணும். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து அட்வைஸ் வந்து காமன், ஆர்ட்டுக்கும் அதே தான், எல்லாத்துக்கும் அதே தான். ஸோ டயட்டாக இருக்கட்டும், எக்ஸசைஸாக இருக்கட்டும், வேரியஸ் அதர் திங்ஸ் வந்து காமன். ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்து உங்கள் பாடியை ஹெல்த்தியாக வச்சுக்கலாம், இல்லை அன்ஹெல்த்தியாக வச்சுக்கலாம். ஸோ எல்லாமே காமன். ஸோ எலும்புக்குன்னு தனியாக கிடையாது, ஒபிசிட்டிக்குன்னு தனியாக கிடையாது, ஹார்ட்டுக்குன்னு தனியாக கிடையாது, எல்லாமே காமன் அட்வைஸ். பட் எல்லா அட்வைஸும் நான் அட்வைஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு எனக்கு 2 hours ஆகும். ஏன்னா எல்லாமே காமன் அட்வைஸ். ஸோ நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் திங் என்ன பண்ணோம்னா, நம்ம தனித்தனியாக பிரிக்கக்கூடாது. எப்படி நான் முழங்காலம் மட்டும் ஹெல்த்தியாக வச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படி போய் டாக்டர் கேட்கக்கூடாது. எப்படி நான் ஹார்ட்டை மட்டும் வச்சுக்கலாம் கேட்கக்கூடாது. எல்லாமே காமன். அதில் வந்து டயட் பிரின்சிபல்ஸ் ஆர் தேர் லைக் ஆயுர்வேதா. ஸோ ஈஸ்டர்ன் மெடிசன் ஸ்கோர்ஸ் மச் ஓவர் வெஸ்டர்ன் மெடிசன் இன் ஹெல்த். The disease, the Western medicine seems to score over Eastern medicine. That's basis.
Come to India for this operation for many reasons, and the main one being that the hip replacement I would have got in the UK would have seriously impacted my life. I wouldn't have been able to work, excuse me, and there are vast limitations on a normal hip. It can dislocate just by crossing your legs. So far today, I've been up about, very mobile, and thanks to Dr. Bose, I'll be back to work hopefully very soon. So everything I've had here has been second to none. I think a little tweak maybe for your continental food, but hey ho, that's a minor issue, isn't it? So thank you all, and Dr. Bose, very much.
Most welcome. Explain what we do here, and this is some technology that we developed in-house. We have developed in Chennai, we developed in SIMS Hospital, we developed in our orthopedic institute. It's something we're very proud of, and hopefully it will spread to the rest of the world. So this is his X-ray. You can see this is left hip. The right hip is normal. You can see how the left hip is damaged, and he is from the UK. Now, what you should know is that the hip replacement is free in the national service. I worked in the UK national service for 6 years, and all surgeries are free, completely free of charge. But leaving what is free to him in the UK, he chose all the way to come across the world to Chennai to have his surgery done. So the question to ask today is, why did he choose to come so far for hip surgery? So he's actually a builder by occupation. And I believe what the surgeons there in the UK told him is, you can have a hip replacement, pain will go away, but you have to give up his job as a builder. and that was the problem. So he chose to continue his job, and then as a builder, and as you know, building activities involve climbing ladders, climbing on roofs, etc. So he chose to come here. That's taken at the time of the surgery. So this is the what we developed, how we use technology to get high performance after the surgery. So generally it's thought that once you have an artificial hip done, surgery, the pain will go away, but your activities are limited. Generally you walk with a cane, and then you're not able to do very activities. You can just sit and stand. You can't do anything much else. That's usually what is thought. Now in recent years, technology has revolutionized everything. I'm sure you all agree with that. Everything is revolutionary because of the modern technology that we have. And if we take rental mobility, rental things, we always, whenever we think of something very fancy like Google self-driving taxis or autonomous, but this is not where the real revolution occurs. This is the top end. The real revolution occurs in what we call the bottom of the pyramid. So our Ola and Uber, that is really the technology driven. Before Ola and Uber, we couldn't take a taxi, but now we all take taxis. Now we have two-wheeler taxis also, autos. That's where the real revolution occurs. That's occurs at the bottom of the pyramid, as we call it. So if we take technology as a THRs, everybody will talk about robots. So we also have a robot for knee replacement today in our hospital, but we don't have one for hip replacement because it is still not mature technology. Like if you take electric cars, for example, we had electric cars for a long time, but now only the technology is mature. So the robotic for hip replacement is still not mature, and therefore we don't have one at the moment. More than that, it's expensive, it's about 8 crores. So we thought we should do something about it, and do something that will be absolute for everybody and every patient and every hospital. So what does the robot do? It does some technical things. It gives you these 5 things. That's basically what the robot does. So we decided to do something about it. SIMS Hospital in our Ortho Institute, Asian Orthopedic Institute, and we developed this one. So we are very proud to call it zero cost alternative for hip robotics. So this costs 8 crores. That has no cost involved actually. So because we all have our smartphones, each one of us has a smartphone. So we are using the smartphone as the basis, but there are a lot of other things involved. So we call it die cast. That stands for digital inclinometer and coaxial stitch technique, which over the years Dr. Surya and myself developed in this hospital. So this is for everyone, whereas robotics, even in the Western countries, even in affluent countries, is only for a very small proportion of people. Everybody is not going to have Google flying taxis, but Uber and Ola is what is going to be the revolution like that. So finally, the patient should benefit. That's the goal. So this is what we have developed: zero cost substitute for hip robotics. So these are the things that. So it's not just a question of using an app for a mobile phone. It's much more than that. These are all concepts that we have developed in hip surgery. So this is what we do during surgery, and this is a modified app that we use in a cell phone. You can see how an ordinary smartphone is put into the sterile plastic cover and becomes sterile, and you can use it as a technology during surgery. Therefore, there is no cost involved. The only cost is the plastic bag cost. That's the only cost that's involved in this thing. This app we are planning to give free to everyone. So it's not just the app; it is the 3D balancing, which has got many concepts. So anything like this, you need to scientifically prove it. You have to publish it in peer-reviewed journals before that you can show it to public or show it to others. So we have published it in peer-reviewed journal, and everything has been scientifically validated. That's very, very important. It's not just fancy doing something on the smartphone. It doesn't work like that. So there are various concepts involved. I won't go into the technical part of it, but basically we want to align the patient as if he's sitting. We want to make him lie down. So what we do is we do all the markings while he's sitting, and then when he's lying down, we use the smartphone to make sure that we have transferred what he's sitting and standing. That's fundamental number 1. And again, we use the smartphone for that. And here you can see the video. This is the cup that has been put in, and you can see that how the smartphone is being used, and you can see the value coming. What is your actual angle? Now, human error is there. So what we really want to do is to eliminate human error there. So you can see that exactly what angle that we want, and once you find it's perfectly aligned, the performance, you can allow the patient to do whatever they want, and that is the idea of how we have modified this to exactly eliminate human error in that thing. Now, it's not always, keep in mind, always the machines are not superior to human skill. In some things, even today, the human skill is better than machines, than software, etc. So if you look at perpendicular and parallel, if this wall, if you say is it really parallel, the human eye can can be as accurate as 1 degree. So human eye is better than machines in some things. Human eye is very bad in measuring angles. So we used all these concepts, and we so some of this is where the human eye is very good. We use the human eye, and then we find that we are very accurate when we are doing that. So this is again how we do it. Different parameters being done so accurately. So we have done all that. This is during surgery. This is how we do the surgery. This is our operating room in SIMS, and then we measure the value. So what you want based on the X-ray, what you want, we achieve that, and that's the whole technology. And we are doing it at no cost. And that's the beauty of the whole technology. And we are so proud that we've done it in Chennai, in India, in SIMS, in our orthopedic institute. And it's already getting popular world over. So people would find that, instead of spending 12 crores or 10 crores on robot, they could do this, and it gives exactly the same things. And you can see how the plastic bag is there. Just an ordinary smartphone with an app, and then we are able to see that exactly what value that you want. The first one was the different thing that we use. Here it is the femur or thigh bone. The first video I showed you was the pelvis or the socket bone. So we were able to exactly get what we want. So these are all technical things. I won't go into it. But so it's not just the app, but it is technology and the concept that we developed and published along with the app that's important. It's again very important thing, but it's not technical, so I won't go through it. Now, apart from this one, some patients may have spine problems. When they have spine problems, it reflect on the pelvis, and to put the socket is very difficult, the artificial socket. So again, we use the die-cast technology that we developed, and then we're able to get exactly where you want things to be. This again comes at no cost, and that's the beauty of the whole thing. And here's a patient. You can see completely deformed pelvis. The left hip is fused and been there for a long time since their childhood. And this is very, again, it's very impossible to do with the pelvis is in all, turned this way, twisted that way. We cannot do by the human capabilities. So we use the die cast, and then we're able to do everything very accurately. This is a patient who came from Punjab. He had a hip replacement done, dislocated. You can see that. So again, we are using die cast, and then we're able to put the cup in the right place, and then everything is fine. So this is what the robot does. All these technical parameters, and without the robot, with the use of die cast, we are able to achieve everything, giving a value number. You saw how the number was given during surgery. Each value has got a number, and we are able to do it without any cost. And that's the beauty of the whole thing. We are so proud that we have developed it here in Chennai. So it's one of my patients who, he had a hip replacement, and 8 months after he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. So there are lots and lots of patients who come to us for high performance hips from all over the world, and they are able to do all sorts of things. And some of my patients, sitting on the floor is very important in Asia. May not be that important in the UK. Sitting cross-legged, squatting. Another patient from Canada who was horse riding and bicycling a few weeks after surgery. So these are all we are able to achieve because of how we are able to position the components and give them high performance.